Hey everybody, Jessica Morrison, Realtor with Ferris Property Group in Indianapolis, Indiana, serving your global real estate needs. We are back with an FPG preferred vendor highlight. And what I mean by that is we have small businesses, local home service provider companies who step up and say, hey, I'm awesome. I want to partner with Ferris Property Group to help serve your clients in a specialized way. So every month we get to sit down with one of those vendors, learn more about their services. And in this particular case, we get to sit down with Lauren. Lauren, please tell our audience who you are and who you're with.
Yeah, I am Lauren Kren, and I am an account executive with Choice Home Warranty. So I service the Indianapolis area and surrounding markets, as far north as South Bend and as far south as the Louisville border.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask the age-old question, Lauren. Why on earth should I, as a homeowner or prospective home buyer, be interested in a home warranty? Why are they valuable?
Yeah, absolutely. So a home warranty is going to protect the peach in the home. So that's the plumbing, electric, appliances, cooling, and heating. And we protect those items from normal wear and tear failures. So they are great tools, especially if you are a buyer walking into a home. You might not necessarily know the history of those appliances or systems in the home. And we will protect those items for you if they malfunction due to normal wear or tear. So that's your HVAC system, your water heater, all your appliances, electric, plumbing, and we can save you thousands of dollars, especially in that first year in that home.
So to clarify, for those of you who are new to terminology with housing, or just want a quick refresher, homeowners insurance covers your home in the event something gets damaged. Whereas in this particular situation, it's if something breaks. And could we just refresh that acronym one more
Yeah.
time? Because I think sometimes it's easy to forget.
Yeah, for sure. So we protect the home from those normal wear and tear failures. So what that means, for example, is let's say your air conditioning unit is 20 to 25 years old when you move in. It's still working, but it's past its expected lifespan. So you really have no idea when that's going to break. And that's going to be an unexpected cost for you as a homeowner. That is where the home warranty comes in. So when that air conditioning unit eventually does break down just due to old age, we would come in and diagnose that problem and replace or repair that unit as needed. So we protect you from those unexpected costs you can run into as a homeowner.
And so plumbing, electrical, appliances, cooling and heating, is that how you did it? Okay. So that makes sense. I'm going to throw a curveball at you because I think it's also one that you get quite frequently, which is, okay, I see the value in potentially having a home warranty, but whenever I call them, they don't always cover everything. Plus I pay a service fee. So how do you see managing expectations with what is and is not covered if in the event something breaks?
Yeah, absolutely. So what I always do when I am working with buyers or sellers is educate them on the home warranty. I think confusion comes into play and frustrations come into play when you might not necessarily understand what you're purchasing. So I educate them on our coverage, what we offer, what normal wear and tear is, what it is not. So they have a proper expectation coming in. And if that expectation is in place, 9 times out of 10, when they file that claim, it is going to be a covered issue. As far as the service call fee goes, our service call fee is $75. So it is one of the lowest in the industry. So I always tell homeowners, even if you're not sure if this is going to be a covered claim, you would be paying that diagnostic fee to any technician that you would work with within or outside of the warranty. So you're actually going to be getting a diagnosis and know how to proceed with that issue if it is not covered for that $75 service fee, which is much lower than what you may be paying if you went outside of the warranty. And as far as,
go ahead.
Sorry,
you're fine.
And as far as handling those customer service issues, that's definitely one of the biggest complaints I hear. Like, oh, I was on hold for 3 hours with this 888 number. One of the things I love about Choice is that I work directly with the homeowners and I work directly with those claims issues. So if a homeowner ever has a problem, they can call me directly. They have my cell phone number. They can text me, and we work directly with claims managers in our corporate office to push those claims through faster and find resolutions.
Yeah, I think that's great. And there's a reason that we have allowed ourselves as a brand to work or promote Choice Home Warranty. I mean, Amy Drudge, your predecessor, still awesome, just under a different hat now. Rock and Ruhoff Mortgage with Corey, doing a great job there. But I think it is interesting to see how many home warranty companies are in the industry, and how I think at the end of the day, it always comes back to relationships, because we really have seen success with clients who, because we have direct relationships, especially locally, if there is an issue, if you're watching this and you've filed a claim with a home warranty provider and you don't feel like the customer service is there, or you don't understand the value of maybe what all that policy has, reach out to your realtor or us, and we're happy to connect you with someone who's local, boots on the ground, who probably lives in your zip code and can explain that policy to you. Do you feel, and I don't want to put unnecessary pressure on you, Lauren, or to set that's the expectation, but you as an account representative, where do you end and customer service begins?
Honestly, I am fairly involved in the process through its completion. If there's ever an issue with a claim that needs to be escalated, I will handle that claim from the beginning to the very end. Obviously, homeowners always have the option to call our customer service number. I'm only one person, so I don't work 24 hours, 7 days a week. And our customer service line is open, at night and on weekends when I might not necessarily be working. So that's kind of when that number might come into play, but all and by large, I handle claims, from the very beginning to the very end. As long as a homeowner has an active policy with us. So they could have been renewing that policy for 5, 10, 15 years. I will still handle those issues.
Sure. Well, in short, you are customer service is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so let's kind of segue into what have you been seeing in home warranties with the last 2 years? We're kind of coming out of COVID market shifting a little bit. I don't want to be doom and gloom and say that we're in a recession, but the market has shifted and it's neutralized a little bit, which is a healthy correction. Having sold real estate with the amount of inventory that we currently have and is projected to continue to grow, it's a healthy thing. You're going to be okay, guys. The sky isn't falling. But when it comes to home warranties, kind of talk a little bit about the past 2 years and what you're seeing going on right now.
Yeah, so I did come into this role in October of 21. So I'll kind of talk about the knowledge that I have from that day forward or time forward. This last year was really a seller's market. So home warranty sales were down industry-wide 30%, but they were still important. So we had to shift kind of our focus from sellers to talking directly with buyers and how they can purchase that warranty outside of the transaction, which they can do. We offer credit card payments. They can pay it in full with a credit card. They can break it into a monthly payment plan with a credit card, because the home warranty is still a valuable item for that homeowner to have walking into the home, regardless of if the seller was paying for it or not. As we are shifting back into a more normal market, a home warranty can be a really awesome tool for sellers to get more money on their home. Homes will sell on average for a higher cost if they have a home warranty on the home than if not. Can also be a really awesome tool when you're in that inspection response process. As long as the inspection says that the systems in the home are functioning properly, we will not discriminate against the age of the unit. So if a buyer were to ask a seller to, replace the HVAC system because it was 20 years old, you can always offer a warranty, and vice versa. The buyer can ask for the seller to pay for a warranty because those systems are so old. It's a lower cost for both parties at the end of the day, and it offers protection for more than just one system.
I think that's great feedback, and I would affirm many of those points. The home warranty is such a great resource in a realtor's toolkit for negotiating. I think a lot of times, especially when you're working with first-time home buyers, there is this unnecessary fear. And it's just because there's the fear of the unknown and fear of something that they don't understand yet. And it feels big. It's an unknown expense. The cost of replacing a furnace, $8,000, probably more now because of, everything that's going on with materials in the world. But, which is unfortunate, but at the same time, the home warranty is kind of a nice insurance policy in a way. I'm not saying that it is insurance, but to say like, oh, you need to replace this, Mr. Seller, because it's old, when the seller is going to say, no, it's working properly, just because it's old doesn't mean it has to be replaced. So I think that can be a great middle ground. And even if the seller doesn't feel that they should be obligated to pay that, I do want to remind whoever's watching that you as a buyer can choose to get that policy during the transaction, or let's say you wait 30 days and then you move in and you decide you really want that extra security blanket. Kind of talk about how even a homeowner could choose to buy those policies, and what kind of lengths of policies do you offer?
Yeah, for sure. So we offer policies ranging from 1 year to 5 years. So we are one of the only home warranty companies in the industry that offers 3 and 5 year plans. So there's really a policy and a length of time for everyone, because like I said earlier, those 1 year policies can be broken into monthly payments if that is something that would be a benefit to you to break that payment up. Our multi-year policies cannot be broken into monthly payments. They can be broken into 4 payments, but then you lock in that lower rate and that lower service call fee for a longer period of time. And you don't really have to think about it. You pay for 5 years upfront, and then you have that policy for 5 years, which is awesome. And then as far as purchasing a home warranty, anyone can purchase a home warranty through me. So you could have been in the home for 30 days. You could have been in the home for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. It doesn't matter. We can still sign you up for a policy. The only stipulation with those policies sold outside of the transaction is there is a 30-day waiting period. That is just to protect us, because similar to car insurance, you can't get in a car wreck and then call car insurance and say, hey, I kind of want to get car insurance now. So we do have that waiting period. And then we do just ask that you've been doing your routine maintenance on your HVAC systems, and you should be good to go.
Okay, so I'm curious, devil's in the details. What does and you might not know this is a super technical question.
Okay.
So obviously the world's changed a minute or changed a bit in the last minute, and things, especially certain resources, are becoming harder to obtain or are significantly more expensive. On those longer two policies, I have 2 questions. First, if in the event a seller decides to sell, can that policy be transferred? And then second, let's say your cost of replacement goes up 200%, or that service fee, if they were to sign today and it's $75, any future price increases that you may do to cover that service fee or cost of replacement, is there a subject to type of language in there, or is, and maybe I should be more specific, but I guess I just want to understand the limitations of that 3 to 5 year contract, because that is very compelling. Certainly just looking at inflation alone, that could be a very strategic investment. especially for someone who might be thinking of selling in the shorter term. So maybe speak into that a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So with our multi-year plans, those 3, 5, really any one of our plans, they can be converted to a new buyer if the policyholder is selling their home. So all we would need is the buyer's name, phone number, and email, and we can update that policy. It's already paid for. It'll stay with the house, and they can pick up right where that seller had left off. And it's really helpful for us because we can see the claims history on that account. And then as far as the multi-year policies, 3 and 5 years, with the service call fee, that would not go up. So once you purchase a multi-year plan, you are locked into that $75 service call fee, and you are locked into that coverage. So if we were to have a price increase, which we actually just had our first price increase in 3 years, so it does not happen very often, you would be locked in at that rate that you had agreed upon back in whenever you purchased the policy. That wouldn't change. As far as the 1-year policies go, they can be renewed, like I said, but upon renewal, if we were to have any sort of price change or increase, you would be subject to the new policies at that time.
That's very interesting. So in your experience, we have a few minutes left. What are you seeing right now among home buyers and sellers, and maybe some tips that you would offer to them? Potentially, let's say we have someone who's considering a home warranty. What questions should they be asking if they're interviewing different companies?
Yeah, for sure. So I would definitely ask questions on specifically the coverage. At a basic level, all home warranty companies are going to be the same in regards to blanket coverage. So most home warranties are going to cover the plumbing, electric, appliances, cooling, and heating. That's pretty standard. Where you would want to get into the details is exclusions and inclusions, maybe asking specific questions on that if you had concerns. I would ask questions on the caps for coverage on those specific items. For example, our AC coverage caps out at $5,000 every year. So every home warranty company has a different cap for different systems and appliances in the home. So I would ask specifics on that. I would ask specifics on if they do or do not require inspections, because some companies do, some companies don't, some companies are kind of in the middle. I would ask about the service call fee. And then the last question I would ask is in regards to their vendors. So some home warranty companies have their own vendor network, like Choice. So when a claim is filed, we dispatch that out to our vendors and assign the homeowner one. Some home warranty companies allow homeowners to choose their own vendor right off the bat, but there can be some stipulations there as well. So I would just ask, as far as the claims process goes, what does that look like? When I file a claim, do I get to pick my vendor? Do you assign me one? How long does that normally take? All of those questions are great ones to ask.
So speak into that last part a little bit, because I feel like when someone is told, I'm taking away your freedom of choice in terms of, I don't have the opportunity to go on Google and pick the highest rated 5-star company that I feel, or take a referral from someone that I trust, versus, just that trust circle.
Yeah.
I think there can be a fear of, oh, I'm just going to work with a 2.5-star contractor because that's who would take jobs from a home warranty company. What is your process of evaluating the different contractors that you partner with, and how do you assure that that client is getting the highest and best service available?
Yeah. So as far as our vendor relations team goes, they handle the specifics on that. But what I can say is all of our vendors are licensed, bonded, and insured. So they are legitimate contractors that are able to perform that work. And they all do go through an amazing training program at Choice to make sure that they are set up for success with working with our clientele. We're never going to send some random person to your house. Like I said, they're all licensed, bonded, and insured. And I have found that with homeowners working with our vendors, especially homeowners who aren't familiar with the Indianapolis area, maybe they moved from out of state, or this is their first home that they've purchased, they really enjoy that we assign the vendor for them. And I've had several homeowners build really awesome relationships with those vendors and use them outside of the warranty. So it kind of takes away that fear of, I don't really know what I'm looking for. I don't know how to search for a vendor, because we assign one to you and they are licensed, bonded, and insured to perform that work.
Sorry, sometimes I mute in between when we're talking,
you're
so there
fine.
doesn't background noise picked up, but it wasn't accepting my unmute request. So,
All good.
I guess one other question that I have, I think that's in a lot of ways easy to overlook. So typically in real estate here in Indianapolis, you tend to purchase homes in planned unit developments, or, just from a statistical probability, if you're working closer to the city, you may not sell as many country properties. Do you have home warranty coverage available for things like well and septic systems?
Yes, we do. We do have that coverage available. It is an add-on, so it can be added to any one of our policies. Well pump coverage, septic system, and septic pumping are available.
Can you speak into the septic part? Because it's my understanding that if your septic tank goes out, that's not something that homeowners insurance is going to replace or want to cover. So, having that massive bill, often unexpected, can be, quite frustrating, I think, for a homeowner. So do you know in detail the limitations of, if I spent the extra, let's say it's $150 for that extra coverage, can you talk a bit about the limitations? Because you mentioned a cap earlier, and I don't want someone to think that they're going to get a full tank replacement for free.
Let me actually pull up that coverage right now, just so I can take a look. I don't want to say anything wrong.
Sure. Do you want me to give you screen sharing permissions?
Oh, no, you're good. I have it right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So with the septic tank pumping and septic system coverage, it is all lumped together as one policy that you'll purchase, or one coverage that you'll purchase. And with tank pumping, we will cover mainline stoppages and clogs if a stoppage is due to a septic tank backup. So that is up to $300 per 12-month period to pump the septic tank, so they can get the septic tank pumped once a year. And with the septic system, we will cover the sewage ejector pump, control box, jet pump, and aerobic pump, and we will pay up to $500 per 12-month period for that coverage.
Okay. So if a tank needs to be replaced, it doesn't sound like that is involved. It's just the pumps.
It's just the pumps. We will cover the mechanics of that. It can help offset the cost of a full replacement, but it's not going to cover the entire replacement.
Okay. Which is better than zero. So
better than zero. Yep. And that's why I said earlier, definitely dive into the coverage specifics of the home warranty programs you're evaluating, because every single program is different and those specifics and caps will be different. So you will need to take a look at that and kind of figure out what is the most important coverage for me and what's going to work for my home.
Yes. Okay. So we've covered quite a bit today. Lauren, when it comes to getting in contact with you, if someone has an interest in learning more about Choice Home Warranty, the different warranties that you do offer, or length of terms, what is the best way to get in touch with you?
Yeah, so the best way to get in touch with me is either going to be through my email address, which is lkren@chwpro.com, or call me, and my phone number is 317-619-7790. Those are the best ways to get a hold of me.
Excellent. Well, thank you, Lauren, for your time, and everyone who has been watching. We are launching, this is the first of many to come, with our preferred FPG vendor highlight series here on my YouTube channel and other social channels. For more information, certainly check the description in this video and get in touch with me if you have any questions about buying, selling, renting, building. It's so much fun. Building, well, I just said that. How many? Buying, selling, building, renting, global relocation. I do everything real estate. So I have a little script in my head and I got mixed up, but you guys get the drift. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have a great day. And thanks again, Lauren.
Of course, thank you.